Hey everybody on YouTube, this is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Today I just want to make an announcement that Obsolete Video Services now has three in its arsenal of the Panasonic Nv-3160. The reason I'm making this video is to show the differences between the Panasonic Nv-3160 and the Sony Av-8650. I spoke in a previous video that the Panasonic Nv-3160 blows away the Sony Av-8650. The design, the way it's made, the way it's manufactured, it beats it hands down. A lot of people like the Sony Av-8650. I've had several of those over the years, but those machines have a lot of issues. Bad skews, where you have a more precision skew on this one, and various other things. But this is the Panasonic Nv-3160, in my opinion, the best EIAJ color machine ever made. And the reason is obvious, because I've serviced this deck, I've seen the quality in this deck, and I'm going to start pointing out all these different things. To start off with, okay, as I spoke, it's got a much better skew. On the Sony models, the skew has a plastic gear. They break. The skew gets broke all the time, and there isn't no replacement parts for it. It doesn't keep proper tension half the time. It has a drag band that it just, when you're using the 8650, a lot of times it's too loose or it's too tight, and you can't adjust the skew because it's got a real piece of crap skew that they designed for the unit. The AV8650 looks pretty. It's chrome and all that kind of stuff. But we're going for quality here. Which is better, the Nv-3650, the Panasonic 3160 or the 8650? Okay, which machine is better? In my opinion, the Panasonic Nv-3160 is the best EIAJ color machine ever made. And let's start talking about it a little bit here. First of all, got these tracking knobs on here, right? Well, this tracking is so tight, so precision, compared to the 8650, it's not even funny, okay? It's got all these adjustments for color and all that kind of stuff. It even has a broadcast quality to it for video external sync, which the AV8650 did not have. It has more broadcast qualities on this unit than the Sony AV8650, because the Sony models didn't have the quality for broadcast connections like this thing does. This thing hooks up to external syncs and everything else. This is an incredible machine. Second, it is stamped with an aluminum base. See this base right here? Very heavy. It's an aluminum base that all the parts are connected to, where the Sony had that flimsy piece of crap metal plate that they used, they mounted everything on. They used really cheap junk metal on those machines. And this is solid aluminum die-cast housings. Okay, this is precision. This is machine quality, not like the 8650. Way better for quality and stability. And also, this takes more smaller wheels that you can get as far as rubber, the replacements, these fast forward, rewind, and running wheels, they can be changed. I think they're better quality than the 8650, which used those bigger wheels, which were on the standard ones as well, which I never did like to start with. It's got a better head and drum configuration with a disc on top, with the brushes would lay on top of it. So if it gets dirty, it's very easy to clean. On the AV series, the brushes were little wires and they would get bent or they'd get dirty or wore out, and they were just not a very good design in my opinion. Okay, it doesn't have the big meters, but these meters work just as good as the AV8650. You don't have to have giant meters to it. The AV8650s all show no go. Let me put it that way. The quality of that machine is not really that great. Its audio control heads on that machine have lots of issues, where the Panasonic machines have better quality audio control heads, way better audio control heads. This machine is just built way better than the Sony AV8650. As you walk around, you will see it's got video outputs, it's got 2 camera inputs, it's even got vertical sync outputs and inputs, which you can hook up a vertical sync studio rack, which is more broadcast quality. This thing has some really flexibility flexibility wise for keeping good sync during playback. It had the connections for higher broadcast equipment to be connected to it. Another fantastic feature that the Sony Av-8650 never had. Then on top of it, these boards on this particular machine, you could unplug them and fix them and plug them back in. The 8650 had connections, but the connections sometimes you couldn't unplug and they weren't really that great. Here you have individual boards. They're very easy to fix. It's not really a big problem to swap a board out or fix it on this particular machine. This did have a better capstan motor than the 8650, but this particular motor does have bad bearings. We already spoke about that. I changed them and I fixed it. It had a better run motor for the scanner, in my opinion. Much heavier, more durable. This was a much better unit. Higher quality than the Av-8650, by far. This is the machine to look for. If you know how to service them, I've got 3 of these, and I'm servicing all 3 of them now for my arsenal. But you're talking solid quality here. Panasonic went out of their way to make a better quality machine than Sony did. No question about it, hands down. Look at this base, solid aluminum housing. Panasonic used that crappy steel metal housing that they used in its previous models. It just wasn't very good. The connections, the wheels that were all used weren't all that good. This has better tension, easier things to use that don't break. On the Av-8650, the skews are always broke half the time. Much better video head, much better roller, much better capstan. It's just, I could go on and on about this machine. But this machine is super high quality, without a doubt. This is the Panasonic Nv-3160. Blows away the Sony Av-8650. Hope you enjoyed this video.